there's been a big intermission because I had to wait for it to upload. I just uploaded it straight from my computer, and I'll probably give it whoever wants the right to look at it the right to look at it. Who cares? I don't care. But anyway, so I say that to say, I was saying, like, isn't it very convenient that all of these plans are coming out? Okay, I'll give you a prime example. What is said and what is not said often has the same power as what is said. And what I mean by that, there's this controversial Christian pastor that I've fallen in love with. His name is Rob Bell. And people are mad at him because he is saying maybe hell isn't what we think hell is, and how maybe hell isn't the most important part of our relationship with Jehovah God, Yahweh. He's very intelligent. He's done a lot of study on a lot of different gods and goddesses, and the change of the views of gods over the centuries. And I'm impressed. I'm very impressed with this young man. I don't know if he's a young man or not, but he's a young man to me. So, I'm very impressed, and I think he has something worthwhile to say. I posted a video yesterday he did on She, talking about the feminine principle of God, and how women in the Christian church shouldn't be made to feel like they're left out or they're not as important as men because of how important the feminine characteristics and principles are. And I was really impressed by that because I just had talked, well, before I get into that, I'll get back to what I was saying. So, what is said is just as powerful as what is not said. There's this thing, and what I mean by that, there's this thing that people post every now and again that has words where the first letter and the last letter is the actual letter of the word, and then in between the words it's misspelled, and how well people can read that even though the word really isn't actually spelled. People can read it, not most people, a lot of people can read it because the brain computes, and it automatically will kind of, based on words that have been programmed into the mental computer, when it sees that first and last letter, even if the middle letters are mixed up, the brain automatically computes that this must be that word. What I'm saying is, like, that's what it is with a lot of things. So when you're dealing with Illuminati type thinking, or you're dealing with secret society type thinking, or you're dealing with HARP type thinking, even if it isn't said, your mind will begin to see certain events and compute that is that word because the first letter and last letter looks kind of similar. Something to that effect. And I just wonder, what is the benefits of having those things come forward and now? Now, for people who are frequency, light, vibrational beings, love beings, star beings, god, goddesses, queen, kings, whatever you are, whatever you call yourself, human, non-human, alien, whatever you call yourself, that's fine with me. When you look at the power of intent, when you look at the power of thought, when you look at the power of energy that you have coming into you, if somebody wanted to push an agenda, if they plant certain seeds in your mind and you take that, and now your intent, your mental frequency, your energy action is now going towards their plan, how much power do you give their plan? Now, we know things that happen that we don't think about, blah, 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 blah. But I'm saying, I just think that it's very unhealthy for us to spend so much time focusing on what they're doing. I was told to come away from Facebook, and I really tried. I think I spent like 2 days off, but then I was still like reading messages, and I didn't talk that much for some days. Whatever habits. But anyway, but one of the reasons why I pull away is because there's so much negative energy, and it's constant, and it's just constantly they, this, them, who, them, that, do, that, blah, blah. And it's new. I don't watch the news on purpose. Like, I don't want to read that every day. I don't even really want to look at it like once a month. I kind of don't care what they're doing. They're doing what they're doing. I'm trying to kind of do what I need to do. I don't even always know what that is fully, but one thing I do know, it is love. Love is something that I need to give myself, and love is something that I need to give other people. And acceptance is something that I'm really working on with myself, and I am learning to be accepting, which really births and breathes this gratitude that makes me understand that all things have the right to be as they are. Just as I have the right to choose to grow, other things have the right to choose not to grow. As I have the right to choose to be, other things have the right to choose not to be. And there's a peace that comes with that because I stop forcing my agenda and will. And I get away from this false sense of control that I've always been taught that I needed to have to be safe. And that's where we need to prepare for this and we need to prepare for that. I'm not saying do not be active. I am not saying do not be proactive, which is better than, to me, being active is being proactive. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't save up money and move. I'm not saying don't build communities. I'm not saying don't educate. I'm not saying any of that. But what I am saying is be careful how you harness your energy. You have so much more power than you ever really understood. And if you spend 85% of your time worried about their plan, you are not creating your own plans. That's just my thought. We have to get to a place where we begin to build up internal self and stop the conflict within, which helps us to produce results outside of us that do not create conflict. This is just my opinion. I haven't read it in a book. I haven't seen it anywhere. I'm sure it is in a book somewhere, but I'm just saying what is impressed upon me. So I'm pulling away from the noise. Not that I won't go back to reading the news or seeing the news or seeing some of these things, but I cannot let that be my main focus right now because I'm doing a lot of internal work, and those are external distractions which keep me from doing the internal work. And what I find I don't want to be a part of the conscious community anymore. You know what I want to be a part of? The holistic community. I want to be a part of people and visions that are holistic in nature, that have a mind, as my sister Rhea would say, mind, body, spirit connect. I think that's what she would say. But I mean, even greater than that, I want mind, body, spirit, emotion, auric, chakra. I want to hit the ether being. I really want to hit every one of our bodies because we have many, and we have many hearts, and we have many minds, and we have many wombs. We have so much that we encompass within ourselves, that to just be stuck on the flesh is to sell yourself short. To just be stuck, like, this divinity thing isn't like, oh, I'm so divine, I'm a goddess. No, it is not that. To truly be divine is to understand that there is divinity in all things waiting to be birthed and pulled out and drawn out. And that beings choose not to be their highest self. That does not mean that they don't have divinity in them. That's why I don't like this no soul talk. I can't say, I personally don't believe that there are things born without souls. I believe that there are things that have chosen to mute the soul. And then I wonder, because that we can be so mental, going back to this knowledge thing. I believe heart is the filter for all things, and that those who purify their heart and open their heart will have great minds. This is just what I believe. I believe the heart thinks, and I believe it has a voice. And what happens is we mute the heart, which hardens the mind, when we harden the heart, that is when the mind isn't able to do everything that it needs to do. So I believe in making the mind well, but I believe in making the heart well. And when I mean the heart, I don't just mean the physical heart. I mean the emotional heart, the spiritual heart of things, making our hearts well. I was thinking yesterday, and I was thinking about all the messages that I've been given in my life. And one message that has remained prominent from parents, from teachers, from friends, from lovers, from people that I didn't even know was, not you, not now, not like you are. I had someone tell me one day, you're going to be awesome. And I had to tell him, this was just recently, and I had to tell him I'm awesome right now. That was something that I couldn't say before I did self work. That was something that I wouldn't say before I did self work. I would have said, one day I will be. And one day I will be even more awesome. But I'm also